Who will you become at Polytech?
I'm an auto technician.
I'm a dental assistant.
I'm a student teacher.
I'm an executive chef.
I'm an electrician.
I'm a videographer.
I'm a certified nursing assistant.
I'm a mechanical engineer.
I'm an athlete.
I'm a musician.
I'm a student.
We are Polytech!
Dover Place Senior Living Community hosted its 12th annual Easter egg hunt Saturday, March 24th.
Today we have been hunting eggs with some kids from St. John's Lutheran School. We have bunny rabbits in the bistro behind me. We also have someone here doing balloon animals and such.
The event had a fantastic turnout, and a whopping total of 864 eggs were hunted.
To get the turnout like this, and everyone is happy, and the children have a chance to be very aggressive in getting those eggs, and they get a little, and they have balloons and they have rabbits. That makes it for a really lovely affair. Kyla does a phenomenal job every year, and we're so pleased that we have her here as our entertainment person here.
I love it. I love the kiddies. I really do. And I'm waiting for my niece to come. She has 2 little girls. That's how old I am. And they're going to help a little tot if somebody needs some help.
From Delaware State News, I'm Nia Pope.
Hey guys, are you tired of feeling deserted and ignored?
Yeah!
Feeling embarrassed when no one wants to talk to you in the hallway?
Yeah!
Have you had it with loneliness? Well wait, there's a solution! The Buddy Buddy!
What's a Buddy Buddy?
Wow!
The latest, most innovative product for loneliness prevention. Made with the latest technology, this dog can walk, talk, and interact with you to make you feel less lonely in no time.
The Buddy Buddy is the best buddy a person can have. It never argues or talks back, always has your back, and is always there when you need a high five for encouragement.
We love our Buddy Buddy!
Buy your Buddy Buddy today for $19.99. But wait, there's more. Act quickly and you'll also receive the all-new complimentary Buddy for your Buddy Buddy for just the second price of shipping and handling. Just call 1-800-BUDDY-BUD. That's 1-800-BUDDY-BUD. Buddy Buddy.
Does not actually walk, talk, or do anything described in this commercial. Loneliness prevention not guaranteed.
Kindness means to me that
I think kindness is being nice to somebody, and you're not doing it for some sort of reciprocation. You're just doing it to be sincere. And I think it's doing things for people who are in need, or just doing things for people that you want to be nice to.
Kindness is being nice to someone or doing something nice for someone, whether they having a bad day or they just need help.
Being kind to someone is like opening the door for someone, smiling at someone, like if they look down, smile at them, giving someone a hug if they need it. helping someone out if they need a couple dollars, help them out, things like that.
To me, kindness is being nice to others and just making other people feel good, and as a result, it just makes you feel good, spreads the positive vibes.
Kindness is doing nice things for people you wouldn't normally do them for.
Kindness means that you're selfless, that you take time out of your day, your problems, and you are kind to someone because it doesn't necessarily benefit you, and you do something that you normally wouldn't do.
Oh gosh. Cameron Foster, who's a senior here, asked me to be his teacher for Teacher Appreciation Night for the seniors for football. And I didn't realize they were gonna have like a speech prepared that they read over the loudspeaker. So I was walking with him and they started doing this speech, and he was saying that I was like the best teacher he's ever had, and that, oh God, I'm gonna cry, and that I helped him through his entire sophomore year, and I just started bawling because I'm such a baby. But anytime a student is nice to me, or like for Teacher Appreciation Week when I get the cards, I just like cry and just read them when I'm sad.
That's a hard one.
Well, recently the governor used my poetry in his inauguration speech, and he's called me a wise soul. And I really appreciated that because, you know, he didn't have to, one, include my poetry, and he didn't have to say that I was wise, but he took the time out of his speech, you know, like the very beginning of his career as our governor, to say that I was doing something that meant something to him, and that meant the world to me.
Probably the nicest thing anybody's ever done with me is when I broke my collarbone when I was doing BMX. Nobody would help me because I was very scared. I was having an anxiety attack. And this really nice man, I don't remember his name, but he came running on the track and he picked me up in his arms and he carried me to my mom, which was probably the nicest thing ever.
Well, I don't know, it's like people do nice things all the time, but one big grand thing, like to me it's about the small little things that you do in your everyday life, you know?
Oh gosh, I'm trying to think.
Probably the kindest thing is that a homeless man that was, when we went to downtown New York, I bought him a pair of shoes because he had no shoes and it was in the middle of winter, so I bought him a pair of shoes.
I made a birthday video compilation for my best friend Nia, and I spent my whole Christmas break making it, and I think she cried.
I don't think there is anything that beats overall. I think they're all equal to each other.
As a gift for my mom, I drew a portrait of the two of us, and it took a lot of time, but she really liked it and it made her really happy, so it made me happy.
I don't know what like the one thing would be that I've done that's for someone, but I feel like whenever I can just like say like, oh, I like your outfit or your shoes, or and I see that someone's having a bad day and that my comment or my compliment brightens their face and like their whole demeanor changes, I think that's pretty kind. And so I try to do that as often as possible.
At lunch last semester, I saw a couple kids kind of roaming around. Didn't really have a place to go, so they all came and sat with me and my friends, and we talked.
This year, Miss Reisinger, who's a first-year teacher, had her first observation by her supervisor, and she was really nervous about it. And I went out and got her a donut and a nice coffee and left it in front of her door the morning of, and wrote her a little note that said, "Do not be nervous for your observation."
How has technology changed print media over time? It is a question many have had for years. Both print and electronic media have played an extremely vital role in communication. But as the world is becoming more fast-paced and people want more access to news and information immediately, print has seemed to fall short. More people have been turning on their televisions and iPads and putting down the Sunday papers. As the years pass, the way stories are told remain the same, but the way they are consumed threatens to change. Even though the advancements of technology has impacted print media in various ways, it still continues to be used by people in the United States in their everyday lives. The printing press and the many advancements in print manufacturing and distribution put print as the first mass medium. Before the printing press, the mass reproduction and distribution of texts began in East Asia around 700 CE, with the use of wood block printing method to mass produce text. In 1439, Johannes Gutenberg invented the printing press, later following the production of the first book, the Bible. In 1810, Frederick Koenig achieved a major advancement for the print industry, the newspaper. He improved Gutenberg's invention of the printing press by combining the original design and a steam engine. He called this the rotary press. The rotary press is one of the original printing presses still used today. This was the rise of the newspaper and the start to a new revelation of print media. After the mass distribution and success of newspapers in the early 1800s and the use of the telegraphs in the mid to late 1800s, print media gained one particular enemy that sealed the fate of the media industry from that point on. This enemy takes the name of radio. Thanks to Hertz and Marconi, the road to radio expanded beyond anything ever imagined. In addition to the previous advancements of Hertz and Marconi, Nathan Stubfield and Reginald Fessenden made the name radio known as a form of mass media for public speeches and music over a wireless signal. The first sounds to ever be broadcast over the radio was O Holy Night on the violin and a reading of a passage from the Bible broadcast by Reginald Fessenden. With the technology that comes with radio now readily available, other key elements of radio like content, finance, and advertising would have to fight with print media for attention. These key elements were then included in the new media source for all things entertainment and news, the magazine. To keep up with the ever-changing effects of technology and media, innovators had to think different. With the content being given over the air, publications had to draw their readers back. Magazines appeal to an expanding range of reading flavors and audiences. They are designed for standardized or special interest groups. Regardless of their designs for special groups, they developed a mass medium because they appeal to large numbers in a national market that cut across social, economic, and educational class lines. Although magazines were in existence from the 1700s, the peak time for magazine success occurred around 1900s to 1960s. During this time, magazines gave in-depth coverage of not only political events going on in the world, like coverage on the world wars, but they were also giving information on the nation's next best mass media source, the television. Today, people all over the world can turn on their television and find 24 hours news channels, as well as music videos, nature documentaries, and reality shows ranging from addictions to intervention. The maker of the first television transmission, Vladimir Zworykin, also known as the father of television, who created the first practical television, along with the others like John Baird and Philo Farnsworth, television wouldn't have expanded the lengths they reach today. Television was the first mass medium capable of instantly and wirelessly transmitting audio and visual signals. TV took the best ideas from radio, including primetime programming, show ideas, and even the stars that once aired on the radio. Although movies were a popular form of visual media during the time, there were only 3 options for television broadcasting: NBC, CBS, and ABC. Those 3 broadcastings were the 3 options Americans had to choose from across the country. NBC, CBS, and ABC aired the daily sitcoms, dramas, and news programs until the 1980s. The 1980s brought the introduction of Fox as the 4th television broadcasting network. At this point in time, almost all Americans were turning on their televisions and turning down the newspapers. Aside from television, the internet has been the catalyst for technology. According to the Webster Dictionary, internet is an electronic communication network that connects computer networks and organizational computer facilities around the world. There are now plenty of ways not to only communicate, but to get information instantly rather than waiting for a newspaper. There is streaming, podcasts, the internet, ebooks, and e-magazines, all at the touch of a finger to gain news, entertainment, and information almost immediately. Surprisingly, the internet has been around since the 1940s, but did not fully emerge until 1989 when a man named Tim Berners-Lee created computer programming codes that helped grow internet as the next mass medium.
We worked together. I invented the World Wide Web. Now, 20 years on, Ted, I want to ask your help in a new reframe.
Berners-Lee not only created multiple programming codes, but he created the first internet browser called the World Wide Web. By the year 1993, pictures, videos, sounds, and texts could be transmitted through the web, and by the year 2005, Flickr, YouTube, Wikipedia, and Facebook made a debut, encouraging millions of people all over the world to share and upload user-generated content. It is safe to say that technology has had a great impact on print media, and with negatives, there are always positives.
There's a beauty in print products in that there's a certain serendipitous nature to it. Sometimes you'll stumble onto a story that you would have never sought out digitally. The digital side's benefit is that if I'm only interested in one topic or a specific topic, I can go to it and read about it. The downside of that for me as an editor and somebody who likes to facilitate a public discussion, particularly on our viewpoints page, is that the social media models that are out there now where people are racing to websites or Facebook pages that solely give the opinion they agree with. So it is encouraging closed minds in a sense. And that's not good for anybody. I think in order to have a healthy community and a healthy government, you really need to have a great discussion where people are willing to hear and listen to other people's viewpoints and share their own with people that may not agree with them. So
there are actually many positives to technology impacting the print media company. For example, since technology, print has fought to keep up with the time period. Print has not only become more readable and versatile, but it is available to everyone and not just in newspaper form. Companies like the New York Times and the News Journal, which of whom originally was only paper form, have now expanded to online platforms to reach more customers and save more money.
Sometimes I'll read stories from national news outlets and you look at their date lines, and sometimes their date lines are from like 1999. And I'm like, wow, like a lot of companies weren't really online. A lot of news companies weren't really online at that point. And I think those are some of those, definitely the New York Times for sure. I remember seeing date lines from the 90s. So I don't know if they knew exactly how big it was going to become, but they recognized, what the heck, let's just put it online. And I think they were ahead of the curve. So I think that definitely plays a part in it.
Although technology has pushed print media to be better in more ways than one, they have also bumped print media down on the leaderboard of the way people consume their news and entertainment. Technology is not only efficient, but is quick, and with the press of a button, millions of users across the country can be graced with 24-hour news coverage on the latest happenings of the world. Technology has made it cheaper and more convenient for companies to spread news by providing multiple platforms, advertisement, and visuals to attract readers to the websites.
You know, the way that we live our life, it's all based on convenience. You don't have a flip phone anymore. Why? Because it's convenient. Like, it's convenient to have a phone that has the internet on it. It's convenient to have a form of a medium where I can get the news and not have to worry about physically buying it. I can just go online and read it for free. And that's the whole thing. It's so much simpler.
I think the decline in print simply comes down to, again, there's the convenience factor. There's also the matter of it's just easier when you are traveling, you know, so again, that falls into the convenience. But I think it's also, I think there also was an unbelievable arrogance in print. Like, for example, I worked at Rolling Stone for many years, and I worked at the LA Times, and I worked for all these places. And all of these places that had been in existence for so long didn't really take the threat of the internet seriously, because they felt like, oh, okay, we've been the ruling factor for so long, you know, like nothing is going to come along and compete with us. And so the decline in print really comes down to an arrogance. Like the old guard didn't take the threat of the internet seriously enough, And that's what happened was, of course, they lost their audience.
Regardless of platform, print media and technology have both played a huge role in the process of communication between people. Fortunately, the technology industry has heard the cry of the plummeting print media industry and has decided to lend a helping hand by purchasing print media companies and reshaping them to be more suitable for the internet.
New York Times, Washington Post, Wall Street Journal were all sort of front runners in trying to adapt and change. Washington Post is under new ownership now, and when you think about a guy, I think Jeff Bezos, who is the owner of Amazon, he owns the Washington Post now. So there's some really interesting experimental thinking going on in how they develop and reach audience online while protecting their print product. These companies have invested a lot too in different delivery models, and by that I mean how they can get consumers to pay for their content on the web. So while you may have lost a print subscriber, they figured out how to way to regain some of that money through paywalls and things for their sites. So,
of course, as the years go by, media, regardless of paper or print, can change and shift. Technology will always be more relevant than print media, but print media isn't going anywhere just yet. Polytech's theater program is putting on this year's production of Kiss Me Kate.
Kiss Me Kate's very complex. It's about these two ex-lovers who get stuck to doing a show together, and they kind of find their way back to each other by the end of the show. So they go through some struggles, they get mad at each other, but at the end they all come back together, and it's all happy, lovey-dovey, so.
The best aspects of the show, I'd say, are definitely the music and the choreography. Our choreographer, Miss Heather, has done an amazing job choreographing the dances and such. And the music is so complicated, and it's so, you can dance to it, all that you want.
This production is a lot different than the other ones I've participated in. It's because this is my first time being the lead role in anything. So now I understand how much work I have to put in to understand my lines and to rehearse them and go through and do everything as Fred would be.
Kiss Me Kate is a romantic comedy-filled show with laughter and music for all ages.
The dinner theater is Friday at 7, the next show is Saturday at 7, and Sunday at 2.
From Delaware State News, I'm Nia Pope.
Now. Polytech Avidum Club has teamed with the Get Right Side Up campaign to film a video for a PSA contest that promotes mental well-being and suicide awareness to the youth population.
It's a suicide prevention group, but it's really about getting youth in the state to take ownership over those messages and have clubs in their own schools and really a peer-to-peer type program instead of having outside facilitators come in.
Polytech placed first in the contest, and our PSA will be featured on various Comcast networks.
Throughout the months of November and December, the PSA video is going to be shown on Comcast in both Kent and Sussex counties. It's going to be shown on MTV, VH1, Comedy Central, FX. As far as
Avidum and the Get Right Side Up campaign are hoping to make a positive impact on the many people who view it.
I think also today with the reshoots, there's going to be a lot of chances for people to identify with the video. And so once it hits home, then I think you will make a difference in someone's perspective.
The Get Right Side Up campaign hosts many different contests and events for students and schools to participate in.
So in Delaware, we're looking to really, again, have the youth help other youth prevent future suicides. So some of the work that we do is a PSA contest. We also had an Instagram logo contest. And this year, we'll be doing a couple different Instagram contests as far as showing what your life support looks like. And we're also going to do a drawing contest of what suicide prevention looks like to you. And the winner of that will be made into a calendar.
From Panther Paws News, this is Rihanna Gilbert.
The Biggs Museum of American Art is hosting its first annual African American History Live exhibition, a part of the Delaware State News citywide Black History celebration on display now through April 29th.
The Biggs Museum is hosting the African American History Live exhibition right now as a part of the City of Dover citywide Black History Month celebration all throughout February. And we've officially just sort of stated that we're actually going to keep the exhibition up until April 29th in 2018, just because it's been so joyous and really wonderful experience that we just decided to keep it for an extra 2 months.
The exhibition features a wide range of African Americans who live, work, or have significant roots within the greater Dover area and more generally Kent County. On Thursday, February 15th, I got to speak with 2 artists on their influence in the Black History exhibition.
I'm from here, been in New York for 15 years doing my artwork, and I've been back here for the last 7 or 8 years doing my artwork freelance. So I'm a freelance artist.
The exhibition features a wide range of media from quilting and painting to sculpting and collages. The exhibition has gained a downpouring of praise and support from people all over the Delaware and the Maryland area.
Huge. Totally fantastic. We've had a lot of really, really good feedback. The news and media coverage of this has been really big, statewide, not just here in Dover. And the visitation has been really strong. We're really pleased with it. But you know, it's interesting, the exhibition was so much bigger and so much more celebrated even in its planning than we expected it to be. You know, when I first took this show, and you know, other individuals within the city had done this show before, I was like, oh, it'll be a few artists. We'll know most of them. There'll be people that we worked with before. And I have to say, 25 artists showed up from all over the place, and I knew maybe a third of them. So this has been really exciting. This is a whole new community of people.
From Delaware State News,
Hello.
I'm Nia Pope.